Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So as I said in my last video, I was doing the oil pump. It's all done now. Pumps in, pans on, rails on, studs are in. It's a pretty easy job, especially with the hoist. Carb space is in, for an extra inch of spacer in there. Just to see if that helps the air fuel mixture going through the intake into the cylinders. See if that improves anything. I was going to jet the carb down a bit more, but you know, change too many things at once, you don't actually know what worked. So, and I can't put the car on any load at home. I tried to put it on the brakes, and that didn't work. Just wants to do a skid. See, skid. As much as a skid is engine load, not my shed. Don't really want to leave skid marks everywhere, especially big black ones. Plus, I don't want to fill the shed with smoke. So that's going to have to wait for the Friday test and tune before the Summit Racing Equipment Sportsman Series, also known as the Rocket Nationals at Benaraby Dragway. So yeah, anyway, we'll get into fitting some tyres. So we'll cut here and jump over to my mate's place with his tyre machine. So I got the tyres fitted. Sorry I didn't film it. The new Hoosiers drag bracket radials are on. They look pretty good, but tyres generally do when they're new. The Hoosier writing will probably yellow out. That's a text message. So comparatively to my my drag radial, my drag slicks, you can see here, they're pretty soft most of the way down the sidewall. These are a bit lighter of a tyre. I mean, they are used more. These come in just a little bit skinnier. It's barely noticeable, as you probably see from the sidewall here. So these are apparently pumped right up at 30 pound, just for storage and to roll the car on and off the trailer. But this sidewall is pretty solid for most of it, and then there's a softer bit getting towards the actual tread face. Other than that, looking forward to seeing how they go. I mean, the car doesn't make huge power. I always had plenty of traction on the other tyres. It just, when they were near the end of life, obviously they're no good. Probably try and clean some of that rubber off. Just a bit of a shout out to mate Brett for letting me use his tyre machine and teaching me how to use it. It's always great having friends with gear like that who help you out. It's getting a bit of a thing with some of the tyre shops. Won't fit tyres that they didn't supply, and living where I do, fitting competition tyres like that can be difficult. Anyway, I need to get in and tidy up. See, I've made a bit of a mess. Been working on the little ute. There's the heat exchanger for the intercooler that's going in the little ute. I've got a radiator ordered from Mr. Enforcer Engineering, so I'm just waiting to get that. And if you follow Benaraby's page or even my page, you've probably seen that the Summit Racing Equipment Sportsman Series has been cancelled due to COVID. Yay, COVID. But Benaraby Dragway are putting on an event called Racing for Aces. So they've put up some of the prize money that they had for the Sportsman Equipment Series. There's still a few cars coming, which is great. I think it's going to be a fun little event. It's just something different, and it's great to see the guys at the track putting in that effort to really get us racing again. So I'm going to clean up, get organised. It's Thursday before the race day weekend. We'll be at the test and tune tomorrow. I've got 2 extra sets of spark plugs to do some plug reading when we get there Friday night. And that's about it. I'll see you at the track. Well, that was shit. Excuse my language. I don't know. I'm not set up for these tyres, I don't think.
time to lane, Dylan Bennett in the 347 cubic inch Mazda 99. Big power better than Gary Hunt. He's on an 05.43, so this thing 440 cubes and absolutely sends it. And over the ton of tyres lane, Dylan Bennett in the 347 cube, dialed at 682. Mod bike, you should be in the staging lanes. Mod bike, you should be in the staging lanes.
So I hope you enjoyed that footage. Racing for Aces was put in place of the Summit Racing Equipment Sportsman Series because that got cancelled because of COVID. So great work to the track staff at Benaraby Dragway for putting that event together. It was a lot of fun, something a bit different to a championship round. It kind of took the seriousness out of it. So Racing for Aces is pretty much just a normal drag racing event for us at Benaraby, but the club put on top of that a kind of like a poker run style event. Every round you got a card. So if you top qualified, or if you're the fastest qualifier in your run, you got a card from the top of the deck, say from 8 through to Aces. If you slower qualified, you got a card from the bottom of your deck, say 7 down, I think it was. I'm not exactly sure where the split was. I think it was 7 down. I ended up with 7s. I ended up with a pair of 7s at the end. And then I think top qualifier got an ace. If you 000'd your reaction in racing, you got an ace. And the winner of the round got an ace, I think. Can't remember exactly. But basically, at the end of the night, you made your best poker hand out of all the cards you get. So I ended up with 6 cards because I only did the 3 rounds of racing, 3 rounds of qualifying and 3 rounds of racing. And the best I could pull out of that was a pair of 2s and a pair of 7s. So that wasn't going to really cut it. Anyway, it was a lot of fun. On to the important stuff with the car. It still smokes. It's not a fuel issue. We've 100% ruled out it's a fueling issue. It's definitely oil. We leaned it out Friday night, read the plugs. Plug showed it was lean. Air fuel meter showed it was lean, richened it up a bit. Plugs read it was a little bit richer. Meter showed it a little bit richer, low 13s, high 12 to 1s on the air fuels. Probably go another jet size bigger just for normal operation. So we'll go to a 76 jet instead of, a 77 jet instead of the 76s that are in it. So it's definitely oil. We're going to go back to the very beginning of what I was looking at with this. I've got a leak down tester on order. We're going to try and leak down test. Looks like cylinder 7's the main culprit for this. I've been doing also a bit of reading about manifold to head, intake manifold to head sealing issues. It's not limited to the Windsors, but I have read of some of them having that issue with alloy heads and aftermarket intakes. Could be the angle of the intake runner on the head versus the angle of the intake runner on the manifold. Could be not seating. I've got two different styles of intake gasket coming that are thicker. They're 120 thousandths thick instead of 65 thousandths thick. They're also a composite gasket opposed to a steel laminated gasket. So we're going to give them a try. First thing I'm going to do is get in and rip the carb off, take the spacers off, and check down the intake runner, see if there's still oil on the intake valves. And my rocker covers are leaking too, so I've got to seal that up. But that's not a smoking issue. That dropped some oil on the trailer on the way home. So anyway, that's all I've got for this video. Thanks for watching. We'll be at the Billawheeler Autofest on the 18th of September. Haven't decided which car I'm taking. Depends how pulled apart the green one is. I'll either take it or the little ute. If they're both pulled apart, they're both going to be a pain to move. So it might even just be the SS and the Subaru that go. Haven't decided yet. So if you're at that, I'll see you there. If not, I'll be back at, I believe it'll be round 5 at the end of September, last weekend of September at Benaraby Dragway. And hopefully it won't be smoky, but we'll see. Anyway, as always, keep it off the walls and shining side up, and I'll see you trackside.
Sponsored by the Campaign Company and I Visualize and Pilot.